Hello again. When the government removed the citizenship of Shamima Begum, the British girl who travelled to Syria to join the short-lived caliphate which had been established there, few people were much bothered. After all, she had made her bed and now she could lie in it. The fact that she had been born in Britain, though, and could nevertheless have her citizenship withdrawn, should have caused a few raised eyebrows. People might have asked themselves, well, if you can withdraw the citizenship of somebody born in Britain, how many of us might be in the same position in the future? After all, if the government could do that to her, what was to stop them doing it to us? Do readers know that anybody with an Irish grandparent can have their British citizenship revoked, even if they and their parents were born in this country? No? This is the danger when a government starts fooling around in this way. You don't really know where it's going to end. The British government is quite keen at the moment on removing citizenship from people born in Britain. Home Secretaries have had the power to do this for a long time, but of course haven't actually done it as a rule. Before this century, it was last done in 1973, almost 50 years ago. Always, such cases were of people who had been born abroad and then acquired British citizenship through naturalisation. In other words, they had been born in other countries, they were citizens of other countries, been granted British citizenship, and it had then been withdrawn. The idea of withdrawing British citizenship from people actually born in Britain is very much a new one. It's a new idea and a dangerous one. The United Nations 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights says that having a nationality is a basic right, and so Britain can't deprive somebody of citizenship if this would render the person stateless. However, if the individual is entitled to citizenship of another country, even if they've not actually taken up that citizenship, then it is possible for the Home Secretary to declare that British citizenship has been revoked. In the case of Shamima Begum, it is possible that she may be entitled to Bangladeshi citizenship, since that is where her parents were born. Which brings us quite naturally to every Jew in Britain, as well as everybody with an Irish grandparent or who had dual nationality from another source. Every Jew in this country has the legal right to Israeli citizenship under the law of return in that country. That means that depriving a British Jew of citizenship, even if that person's family had lived in this country for 200 years, would be perfectly legal. This is, of course, what Nazi Germany did with the Reich citizenship law in 1935. It is shocking that a British government should be seeking to exercise this same power. Even worse, under the Nationalities and Borders Bill, and this is a proposed new law which is currently working its way through Parliament, it's in Lords at the moment, it will become law in the spring. Under this new law, it will be possible for a minister to sign a document, deprive somebody of citizenship, and not tell them. So in other words, the British government would be able to sign anybody's citizenship away, remove it from them, and not even tell them that it's been done. The first they'll know about it will be if they try to renew their passport or use their passport. We're assured that the government will not misuse this power, but then this is the same government which added an amendment to the 1984 Public Health Act without any debate in Parliament, and then used it to enforce what amounted to curfews and house arrest. Would you really trust them not to misuse a law? I wouldn't, personally. I realise that this doesn't affect most people in Britain. It certainly doesn't affect me. But call me a wishy-washy liberal if you will, When I see one of the Nuremberg Laws of Nazi Germany being passed in Britain, I get a little edgy about what is going on. Each day, this country moves further and further away from being a traditional democracy and is looking more and more like a dictatorship of the 1930s.